Kathy here from KathysKuteKreations. Today we're going to be doing our cotton cuts, sparkle and shine, and I have the small one, and it is number 8. So it's month 8 of 10, and I'm going to show you my color wave in a minute. First, let me show the cotton cuts block of the month that you need to color. Here's the part that you color, so you can enter. It's the September. And let me go ahead and show you my fabrics down here. There's my color sheet. And if you look down here on the board, A is the white fabric, B is this real pretty with the flowers, this is D, and this is F. Alright, and now we're going to put it together. So first what I did was, for all the new people, I went ahead and laid it out exactly the way that it wants it to finish. And I went ahead, and since we're going to be doing 2 of these are called 8A, I went ahead and did the other side the same exact way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew the half square triangles, just like this, all of the half square triangles first, then I will connect the 2 sets, and then I'll do the same thing over here. Alright, and I'm just going to chain stitch. I hope everybody's been doing well. I have been busy, very busy with my school. I'm coming up to the tail end of it now, this next week, trying to take what I've learned so far and combine it. And when I get all finished, I will tell you what I have done and what my job is, and then we'll go from there. Now, every now and then you might hear a little bit of piano playing because I have an electric, I got a little bit of a problem here. Let's take a look at that. Okay, so it's not as bad as I thought. Let's go ahead and try to put it back down right next to it. I thought it had jumbled up on me, but I guess it didn't. Okay, there we go. It just looked like it did, but anyway. So, I've had this electric piano. Now this is super duper old. It's called a Lowry, and it's got like a little foot pedal, and I've had it for quite a while. My son had bought a newer one which did a lot more things and asked me if I wanted his, and I said, well, no, because I've got mine, and mine has like a, I bought a actual piano seat that fits up against it, and it's got its own little, it's just a teeny weeny little like a wire stand that it sits on. Not anything fancy. I mean, you wouldn't want to lean on it or anything, but anyway, so all this time Megan didn't even know. Now this has been in the living room, and it's covered, you know, I've got it all covered to protect it from dust and everything. And I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna sew this these other half square triangles while I'm doing it. And this entire time she did not even realize. You know, come to think of it, I'm not going to. I'm going to do the one specific piece. I'm going to stop here and we're going to open them, and I'm going to go ahead and do one whole section while I'm on camera, and then I'll do the other one when I'm off. Alrighty, so this is what you've got so far. I did one off camera, one on camera. Now we're just going to sew them pairs. We'll do that row, that row, that row, and then when we're done, we'll sew these 2 rows together and then these 2 rows together. Alright, let's do that next. So this entire time, I thought Megan knew that I had a piano sitting over there. She had a little bowl on it that had some things in it, like a chapstick and, you know, things like that. The house keys, so she could have the keys. And all this time, here I thought she knew she was putting it on the piano. I mean, I had the cover that goes with the piano, but then I also had a towel over that so that it would protect it. And I don't know what she thought that was. I guess she just thought that was a little desk or something. But then my daughter said, could she have it? And I said, sure, you can have it. I don't do it anymore. I don't do the piano anymore. And it'll just give me more room in the house. And since I'm not using it, she wanted to. Now Sherry played clarinet in high school, junior high, excuse me. They were first chair, she and Jerry both. He played the sax and she played the clarinet. And now Megan, she played the violin. That's what she chose. And so then Megan says, well, I didn't know we had a piano. And I said, well, yeah, we have a piano. She goes, can I see it? And I said, well, sure. So before I came up here to do this, I went ahead and uncovered it. And then we played with it and got it working. So she's down there just strumming away. Oh, my gosh. For someone who does not know how to play a piano. She's got some nice little tunes coming out of there. She said, she goes, well, didn't that sound nice? And I said, yeah. And she goes, well, I can't repeat that, Grandma, because I don't know what I was doing. I said, then you need to get your phone and start hitting record so we can hear some of that music, because I could play that on my YouTube videos. It was some really nice music she was playing. Alrighty, so we have that row, and this row. You want to make sure that the two colors go together, and then the two colors go together here, like that. Alright, that means you got them right. Now, if you iron them correctly, they're going to nestle. That middle seam will. And then on this one, you want to, well, I have a bent pen here. You're going to pin it and then pull it a little bit taut so that it goes straight across that fabric, because my top is a little bit. And when it comes to these two pieces, which are my last one, here was my first one, and I nestled. This one, we have to make sure we don't take our tip. So I put the pin through there, made sure, and you go front or back, it makes no difference. And what you're trying to do is right there on the tip top, that's where you want your pin to come through. So go here, right at the two pieces of thread that cross against each other. Get a little bit higher here. And when you poke your needle through there, it comes up above, and in my case, I have to take it back out because it came over in the red fabric. I want it in the white fabric. Like this. There's the white fabric. And then we're going to do it in the top of the white fabric again. See, right there. And then you're going to put a pin in it. Get my pins over here. Just like this. Pull this pin out. Now, if you need to mark that, I suggest you either do it with a pencil or a marker. And let me go ahead and get a blue marker. And you can do it just like this, because what you're looking at is you're trying to make sure that you go right across that intersection. Don't come below it down here. Go right across it there, and you won't take the tip off of this. That's what your objective is. And now I'll pin it on the right hand side, and then I'll start it on the left hand side. Alright, so I have a whole bunch of multiple pins because I could not keep this fabric up against the top up here. It is so slippery, and I didn't want to starch it. So I just put some pins up here. Now when I was doing the one of these edges, one of these half square triangles, somehow my fabric got down and flipped over and folded. So I took it off, and instead of using the seam ripper that I normally use, which is a little bitty pink thing, I got a brand new seam ripper in my Creative Notions. And if you haven't seen me do that unboxing on Wednesday, you might want to take a peek over there and look at it. Boy, is it sweet. And I like the fact that they put a little notch in it so that it won't roll off your table, because I've lost a lot of them. I use the little bitty seam rippers, and I have a trash can that's right here on my left so that I can put my threads and things like that in it. And those little pink ones, and I've had pink and blue, and I haven't had any white ones, but they roll right off the table. They're not very big. This is the size of it right here. That's my thing. And so it rolls off the table because I guess my table has like a curve towards falling off of it. Without knowing, it fell into the trash can, and I just thought that I misplaced it, so I didn't think about looking in the trash can because, you know, I got a whole bunch of stuff in my trash can. Well, sure enough, the next thing I know, it's like, oh my gosh, I've gone through so many, and this is really beat up, actually. I don't know how it got all beat up, but it did. And so this is the new one that came in our box, and the bottom of it has that little flap thing, so when you lay it down, it's not rolling anywhere. So I'm definitely not going to lose that one. And so I just went ahead and I just used it now to fix this thing. Sometimes the big ones, and I have noticed this is why I don't use them all the time, the tip up here is a little different, but this one is a real nice little sharp tip. So that turned out really good. And I like that one. So I went ahead and I used it. So I may be using this more so than my pink. And it feels real good because it's wooden too in my hand. It's a soft wood. It's not a hard. Alrighty, so you'll have two that look like that. And like I said, we're going to mark them. Oops, I covered my little pieces of paper here. We're going to call it 8A. Now let's go to 8B. Alrighty, we're going to make 3 flying geese, and when we get these made, we're going to iron towards the lighter color. Now you want to do one side at a time, so we're going to do this side. Well, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to do my right side. I'll do all the right sides, and then I'll come back, I'll iron them all open, and then I'll do the left sides. So let's do that first. Well, when Megan first started out, I could hear her piano playing, but now I can't hear any of it. So I guess she turned it down. Now, me on the other hand, even though I wanted to learn how to do that piano, I cannot hold a tune. I can't sing very good. I mean, it's a nursery rhyme, fine, but if it's a song, forget it. Now, I can read the notes, and I can play it with the notes, but it's not the same if you play with the notes versus you knowing. And you know, I'm what I think they call it tone deaf. But that's just it. So I have talent in other ways, and somehow both my kids and my granddaughter are musically inclined, and I don't know where they got that from, because I know my parents never played instruments. I think my dad tried to play a guitar, but I never heard him actually play it, and I know my mom didn't. She wasn't even interested. So I think now I know my little brother played. He also did the saxophone. He was really good too. And I really don't recall if my sister played an instrument or not. Even though we were a year apart in school, I never saw her while we were at school. I mean, even though we were in the same building and same halls and all that, I never saw her because our classes never, never even ran together or anything. She had a different set of friends than I had. We didn't hang around like a lot of older and younger sisters, that kind of thing. We just went our own separate ways when we were in high school and junior high. Well, even in grade school, no matter what school we were in. We just had different crowds of people, different kind of friends. But it was the same way with my brother. I never saw him in the school either. He was a year ahead of me and my sister was a year behind me. We never saw each other. Now, we did walk to school together. Not my older brother, but my younger brother, my sister and I, we all went to school, and we all walked to school together. I don't recall how far it was. Probably I'm going to say, I'm trying to think how long it took us to walk to school. We must have lived a few miles away from school, because it always took us 30 minutes, depending on the weather, and we didn't hurry or anything to get to school. We weren't rushing, so we weren't running or anything. We just took our time. Left at the same time and got there at the same time. The grade school was across the street from the junior high. The junior high was included in the high school. They just had 2 grades on the other side of the building. They're not like the schools are today. Okay, so this is what you have done now. And we're going to take our A, which are the long strips, and we're just going to add them to on the left-hand side. Oops, I forgot to turn my video on. And I turned this upside down so that half square triangle was facing down, so I wouldn't catch it. I hate to have those flip up on me, because then I feel like I've got to take them apart and fix them. So I don't want to go through all that. So it's just upside down. It's no biggie. But you can do it the other way if you want to. I just don't want to do it that way. I told my daughter the other day when I was getting the car out of the garage, I said, oh my gosh, I'm having sewing withdrawals. I said, I have not been in my sewing room to do anything in so long. Oh my gosh, I've just been so busy doing school that I haven't had time. And I don't feel like I've learned everything that I should have learned, but they keep telling me that it'll come. Just, and it's true. You can't learn everything, because I'll start getting it all confused, and I don't want to get any of it confused. I want to be able to learn it the correct way and retain all that stuff. I was so glad when this came in the mail. And there we have our 3. Now I went ahead and I ironed towards the white, which is the lighter side, and then we have the A's. So we have 3 of these, which are 8B, and 2 of these, which are 8A, and then I'm going to lay them down here.